just pulled up to the College of the Rockies. I think this is day 16 of our cross-country trip. As you can see, the site is behind me here. So what's really interesting about this project is the fact that our Red Deer district has been winning projects on interior BC. And this is part of our strategy and one of the reasons why we opened the Kelowna district, so that we could have access to supporting these more interior cities.
I am the site superintendent here at the College of the Rockies Passivhaus project. The project was originally designed to be up on this hill, and it got completely redesigned, and now we are, instead of being 4 buildings, we are doing 5 Passivhaus buildings, which is step 5 of our energy code in Canada. It's the highest level that you can achieve. This is something that's never been done in Canada before for the multi-building passive house. So in saying that, like, the way that we're installing our thresholds and our doors and our windows, and the difficulties that we have with our vapor barriers, and being able to have the air seal and the tightness within the air changes for all of the passive house qualifications that we need. This project, it's taken multiple people to be the leaders to be able to design this place and to get it completed.
Is there a message you can share with anybody who's seeing that their next project might be out of town and trying to figure out how they would prepare for it, or if they're prepared for it?
Well, I've been working out of town for about 7-8 years, so this is definitely not my first project. One thing I can say is prepare your families. You know, and make them understand that you're not leaving them, and you get more time with them. Shift work is something that is it's great because, yeah, you're gone for those, 10 or 14 days or whatever your shift may be, but then you have that extra time at home, that release from work, that it's a way better mental health balance. What is the most unique thing that you've learned about the Passivhaus project?
I think it's where it's a totally sealed building, which is different, and all the aspects to that, the RVs, HRVs, the building envelope, and how stringent you have to be with trades to make sure that it's up to par. I've worked for a lot of other big companies, and you don't have the feel that you do with Chandos. You know everything that's going on in the company. The management keeps you abreast to where they're going and the improvements, and just with the way everything has been in the last couple of years, like the slowdown in Alberta and stuff, and that the management foresaw that, and well, here we are in Cranbrook.
Good morning, here in wonderful Nelson, British Columbia. Just across the street this morning, we finished a master pull plan using CPS with our entire team, so got a solid baseline schedule, and this project you can see right behind me here is a keystone for the community.
This is Nelson Share Housing. It's an affordable housing project for the local community. It's one of 3 that are currently going on, this being the largest of all the projects they have going. So these projects are extremely important to these smaller communities. The local trade that we have here, Case Contracting, he's been excellent, to say the least, in being proactive. He gets out in front of things, so he's been a big help for us.
Good morning, team. Day 3 of the BC tour. Today I get to spend the day in the new Kelowna office. This will be my first time visiting the office.
Well, hello, Mr. Penn.
Say hi to the team.
Hello, team.
How's it going today?
It's going really well today.
Hi, team. Good to see everybody again.
Do you miss Calgary?
Sometimes.
See if Kyle can...
That is Oliver D's, the real Oliver D's.
My name is Janelle Lowen. I'm a project coordinator out of the Kelowna district. I've been with Chandos for about 14 months now. I originally got hired as a summer student last summer. I was actually originally in pre-construction, so working more with Randy Dupree. As much as I did like it, I did notice that I wanted to get into operations. So as soon as my schooling, university schooling finished up, I asked if I could, transition into operations, and so that's when my real project coordinating operation position began. One of the reasons, actually, a mentor, I would say, of mine would be Jen Hancock. Before I started with the company, I went for lunch with her, and hearing her side about Chandos was really inspiring to me. My day-to-day job, it honestly changes every day, which is partly why I love what I do. you never know what phone call you're going to get or what email or what problem you need to overcome, which is why I enjoy what I do.
How long have you been with Chandos now?
It'll be 4 years next month. I started as a project coordinator with literally zero coordinating experience and then moved up to project manager recently. I started in the Calgary district and then moved out to Kelowna just over 2 years ago.
Was there more opportunity because of the move?
So much more opportunity because of the move. Being in a big office like Calgary, you try to stand out as much as possible, but the thing is there's, however many other people in your position that are also trying to stand out and vie for that next position. Moving out to Kelowna where, we didn't really have an office at the time, you're the one, you're the project coordinator, and then all of a sudden you have to step up and be the project manager, and hey, by the way, we need you to do some business development, do some estimating, go to the site tours. So you get exposed to so much more of it. It's definitely fast-tracked my career development.
What's been your best moment working at Chandos so far?
The best moment, when we were doing our last project out here in Kelowna, we didn't have any laborers. We had a slab pour that ended at 8 o'clock at night, and then they had to do the troweling after that. So Niall and myself, we stayed out until 4 in the morning on our hands and knees tying tarps together in the pouring rain and snow and freezing. And so yeah, 4 in the morning, it was just him and I out there not saying a word to each other, complete silence, hands and knees just tying together tarps. And then we had heaters downstairs. We were heating the slab from the or from the basement, and I sat down in front of one of the heaters and just had it blow on me for a while, and I fell right asleep. And yeah, Niall came back with coffees, and we got back to work just drenched and frozen. So it was probably one of my favorite memories.
I'm the Director of Technical Solutions with Chandos. I'm a corporate manager, so I go to different facilities, to different business units to assist with groups that are looking at pursuing aquatic centers or recreation centers. My background is in aquatic design, aquatic building, and as an owner-operator. Working out of town encompassed probably all in all 20 years of my life. And what was really interesting is that what I thought was correct in one area was completely opposite in another area. And building in something as simple as building in Edmonton and building in Drumheller is night and day. Even though they're geographically close to each other. One's a clay surface and one's a sandy surface. And what changes there? That keeps me up to speed, so if somebody says, hey, we're building something in Ontario, I already know what some of my challenges are going to be. For me, One Chandos is exactly that. It's anybody could call me at any time, and I will speak to them at the level they need to be spoken to. Having that courage and that confidence to say, it's okay, I don't know the answers either, but let's go through the motions, let's go through the understanding, and who do we need to get in the room to have that conversation.
We are in Kamloops. This is another IPD job, so this will be my second IPD job of the tour so far. It's a really unique project that Jason was sharing me on the way in. It's about $14 million of revenue that needs to be earned off in about 7 months. So that's quite a high rate of what we would call burn, which means the amount of money that we're earning off. So complex project, redoing the building envelope, redoing the roof and the decking on the roof around a pool.
So my name is Lexi Fullerton. I'm a journeyman carpenter for Chandos, and I've been here for 3.5 years. My role on site is Mike has a lot going on right now. He's got change rooms going on, he's got concrete outside, so he's asked that I kind of help him be some eyes and make sure that the form work and that sort of aspect that I have a lot of knowledge in gets done properly on site, give them whatever help that I need on site, and then I'm also on the tools as well, so anything that comes up, housekeeping pads, things like that, I self-perform that. And then also any safety that he needs me to do, any of the daily reporting I need to do, so he's also trying to keep me a little bit in the getting more experience in the management side too, so yeah, pretty busy days.
Why did you choose construction?
When I was a kid, my dad, he's a carpenter, and my grandpa was actually a carpenter too, so my dad would buy houses and flip them, and we always lived in the houses, so I was always around it. It felt like going into the trades, so yeah, I went to school for that in BC.
The scaffold, you always see things like this up north on big industrial sites or commercial or big plants, but on an actual construction commercial site, I've never really come across something to this extent with this much engineering involved with it. So typically in my past, I've always done the infill the pool, build a platform and drive lifts on it. But with this system, we were able to get every nook and cranny of the building and not have to worry about trying to get a lift or a specialized lift into a corner. Afforded us to have so many people up in the air at once. So I mean, there's a crew of HVAC crew up there, probably 6 or 7 guys. We have electricians blitzing it. So there's 4 or 5 electricians up there, and there's also painters at the same time.
So originally the air handling unit was supposed to be on the upper part of the CGAC. What was discovered was that there was actually a fairly substantial load-bearing wall there that we would have had to cut open, which then creates structural issues. At a certain point we were walking around and someone said, what if we moved it down below and made it taller? So we were able to save a substantial amount by moving it down below because we no longer had to clad it and put lights and do design features around it and reinforce the structure as well.
When I was talking to the client, it's the fact that somebody came up with an idea and it was adopted fast, happened fast, and benefited the project. And when I asked him if he thought that would have happened on a more traditional project, he said he really wasn't sure that it would have. My last day in Kelowna had a great day of touring sites. Right now I am at a project called Breathe, where they make face masks. So this is a really interesting project. It came as a need from the COVID and a response to COVID. It's an SSG job with an incredibly tight schedule. Come on and join me in.
Hi, my name is Aaron Slott and I'm a general foreman with Chandos Construction.
How long have you been with Chandos now?
Since I was 19, I think 2007 is when I got hired as a laborer. What they do here is actually above and beyond any other mask makers. They've created a pressurized room, they call it the clean room. They create N95 masks as well as the, I don't know what these are called, but the nurse masks and stuff like that. And they want us to take on next door and build twice as big of a facility.
So how did you do something this complex in 2.5 months?
It wasn't our typical way of how we do jobs. Things kind of just come up and you have to deal with them right there. I'm not typically a reactive kind of guy. I like to plan ahead and have a proper plan. That wasn't really an option here. You just got to roll with the punches, and we did our best and it worked out.
We are a team of the best people in the industry who want to find a common goal of working together to change our industry for the better, creating value for our clients where others don't even know it's an option.
Where are we going next?
So tomorrow we get up and we start packing the site up and we head to Vancouver, and then we're in Vancouver for the week.